The universe of Doom is full of mysteries, and one of them is why the Doomslayer doesn't speak. Some might say that is by design. It's software wanted the Doomslayer to be a silent protagonist from the get-go, and that's it. But if you read the codex entries of Doom Eternal, you will know why the Doomslayer doesn't speak and why he shows his wrath in the calmest way possible. If you enjoyed the videos, consider subscribing. Let's get this video to 5,000 likes. Enjoy. To get the answer as to why the Doomslayer doesn't speak, we need to go back into the past, into the origins of the Doomslayer. I already made a video talking about the origins of the Doomslayer in the past, but this one is going to be different. This video is going to emphasize in the psychological trauma that the Doomslayer endured when he fought against the demons of hell in his universe, and the pain he had to endure when he became a Sentinel warrior in Argent Donner. The path the Doomslayer has walked for most of his life has been full of suffering and despair, and there are a lot of ways on how the Doomslayer portrays this, like how he's just too angry to die, and the calm and subtle ways he shows his wrath against the demons and everything that could endanger the human race. Anyways, let's begin. A hellish long time ago, the Doomslayer was a marine that single-handedly stopped the hell invasion of Mars, cleansed the demons and the icon of sin from Earth, and pushed back the remaining demons from Mars into hell. On Doom 64, the Doomslayer made a choice. He decided to close the portal that connected both dimensions from inside of hell, taking the path of perpetual torment and eternal damnation. Alone, he fought through the legions of demons in hell, enduring wound after wound. He knew that eventually he would die in the hands of the demons, but before that could happen, the Doomslayer was pulled from hell by something and was stranded in the world of Argent Donner. In the outer walls of Sentinel Prime, the Sentinel guards noticed the presence of the Doomslayer, chained him and brought him to the holy priests of the Sentinel City, where he was branded as the Outlander and was given the opportunity to prove his worth by fighting prisoners of war in the arena. And here is where we see the Doomslayer show his first signs of just how deeply scarred he is.
We found him in the valley, just outside the castle walls. He was badly wounded and wearing this.
Guts. Huge guts. Kill them. Must kill them all.
He has fight in him yet.
In spite of his injuries.
Send him to the arena. Let him be judged like the others.
The Doomslayer shows clear signs of psychosis and raving. He talks in an irrational, incoherent way, and all he can and talks about is about the demons, the vile creatures he saw and fought against in hell. In spite of his grave injuries, this man cares for only one thing in particular: the destruction of the demons and their world. But I cannot be the only one that sensed a level of fear on the words of the Slayer.
You'll make a fine addition to the front line, stranger.
The demons! They are everywhere. Must kill them all!
Dress his wounds and bring him to us. I want to know more about the others he speaks of.
Yes, Your Grace.
This man is deeply scarred. He may be strong enough to fend hordes of demons by himself, but the way the Slayer is portrayed in his past reminds me of Guts when he uses the full power of the Berserker armor, where his perception of reality gets twisted to the point that he sees all demons in an uglier, twisted form. And even though he launches himself into the pit of these demons to destroy them, he is ultimately scared. After proving his worth to be in the Sentinel military, the Slayer was put in the front lines of the army, and it wouldn't take long for him to fight against the demons of hell once again. The demons of hell follow the Doomslayer all the way to the world of Argent D'Nur. In the eve of a black star, transdimensional portals were opened in the land of Argent D'Nur, and out of them, the demons of hell emerged. It didn't take long for the first invasion to take place. The Sentinel army was quick to respond against the invasion of demons. The front lines of the Sentinel army were sent every time a new portal was opened, with the Slayer included in the front lines. This man fought against the demons of hell time and time again, proving his worth to be in the Sentinel army. The Holy Priests, the Knight Sentinels, and the King of Sentinel Prime, King Novik, all of them thought that this Outlander was eventually going to die in one of the many battles he fought. But not only did that not happen, he was the only one that had survived this much in the front lines of the Sentinel army, and even more against the demons of hell. King Novik deemed the Outlander worthy of selection. He would be accepted into the elite legion of Knight Sentinels, trained in the ancient ways of the Sentinels, given armor and sword. And yet, the worst was still yet to come for the Slayer. In the unholy war between the Sentinels and the demons of hell, the Knight Sentinels began expeditions in the wastelands of hell. Using Maker technology, they would traverse into Hell's dimension and fight against the demons in their land. The Slayer took part in these expeditions at will, as he was trying to prove himself worthy of being on such high position. He was sent to Hell several times. Every time he got injured, he asked for no aid, and the Sentinels gave him no aid at all, even if the injury was life-threatening, even if the Slayer, the Outlander, was in death's door. With time, he became more and more battle-hardened. In one of the many battles that were fought in Argent D'Nur, the demons brought with them the Dreadnought, a mighty titan from hell that ravaged through the lands of the Sentinels. The battle in Taurus Nebad was all but lost. The will to fight of the Sentinels was all but destroyed, for the exception of one Sentinel, the Slayer. In the midst of the battle, the Slayer shouted, "Rip and tear," and launched himself against the hordes of the demons, leaving every Sentinel and witness in awe. Samur Maker, a Maker Angel, and the Seraphim took the Slayer to the divinity machine in secrecy of the Khan Maker, and gave him great speed and power that would match his will. The Slayer will fend off the hordes of hell, kill the Dreadnought, and bring temporary peace to Argent D'Nur. The Khan Maker was not happy with the upbringing of the Slayer and his blessing. The divinity machine gave the Slayer the powers to destroy Urdak. The divinity machine was made to find the prophesied destroyer of Urdak, and that same machine was the one who gave the birth to the destroyer. Ironic. But instead of showing grief, the Khan Maker made profit out of this situation and stated that the Slayer was the secret weapon they were all waiting for, that the Slayer was going to enforce the will of the Khan Maker with his new blessing. The Slayer was given the highest rank in the Sentinel army, but he didn't care about the political issues in Sentinel Prime. The Slayer cared only for one thing in particular, and one thing alone: the destruction of the demons and their world. The Codex of Doom Eternal states that while he still has the ability to speak, for some reason the Slayer just doesn't do it. He just stopped speaking. And all of that happened after he was blessed by the Divinity Machine. So what other things did the Divinity Machine did to the Slayer? After he got blessed, the Slayer pretty much became the embodiment of rage, wrath and fury. The Divinity Machine magnified his physical abilities, so what if it magnified his rage too? The Slayer has shown many times that he is a man of action. He speaks with his actions, he has control of his wrath, and there's nothing scarier than a man that shows his wrath in the calmest way possible. In conclusion, the Slayer is scarred. He has fought against the demons of hell for who knows how long. When he was a mortal, he saw his brothers in arms die. He saw death in the eyes time after time, again and again, until it finally became his friend. Went through hell and back multiple times, and endured excruciating pain when he was submitted to the Divinity Machine. Pain that even the toughest of men will scream their lungs out. That's why the Doomslayer doesn't speak. Thanks for watching. Okay, Spartans, that's all the time I had for today's video. Please let me know your thoughts about this topic in particular. I've been wanting to do this video for a long time now, and I'm happy that I was able to do it now. Huge shout out to Dutycorn64 for being awesome on my Twitch chat. And if you liked the video, consider subscribing and following me in all of my social media accounts. All the links are going to be down below. Thanks for watching. Adios.